Hello again, Michael Freeberg here from beautiful North Carolina. Finally digging out from our snowpocalypse. The temperatures will reach the 60s today, so hopefully all the snow and ice will be gone. I have 4 products for today, kind of 3.5, but the first one is from K Shave Worx. It is the Kashmir Soap. Let me just show you what it looks like in the container. Beautiful dark brown color. The scent on this is a nice mix of sandalwood, cedarwood, vanilla, and jasmine. The soap is relatively hard, but not a hard soap. It's, you could easily scoop it out with a spoon or your finger, something like that. I have some, of course, pressed into the Captain's Choice loading bowl. It is a coconut oil-based soap. It is a vegan soap. There's no additional animal products, no tallow or lanolin included. The razor for today is one of a number of items I received from Yaqi. They sent me a collection of brushes, synthetic brushes, and badger hair brushes for review, as well as their razor. So let's talk about the razor first. It is a 3-piece razor that is very similar to the Edwin Jagger D89 in terms of the head. You can see there they have their logo inscribed on there. I'm going to be including today a Wilkinson Sword blade. I've tried only one other blade in here, which was the Persona Lab Blue, which that was a bit too much for this razor, but the Wilkinson Sword turned out pretty good. The base plate, very standard looking base plate. The bottom side of it is slightly curved, and so what you'll notice is, I don't know if you can quite see it here, but the bottom of the posts has been angled so that when it actually fits into the base plate, what you get is a nice, smooth, perfectly curved fit, which I think I've seen other razors that do this. I don't think I have one that does, but it's a really nice little detail, very nice little touch. It is a zinc alloy head, but the handle is all brass, and I really like this handle. It's got a really nice weight to it, very nice smooth thread action, and I just like the overall design of it. Just the way the knurling has been done with the sort of the column pattern in the middle there. Today's brush is also from Yaqi. This is a monster synthetic brush. This is a 30mm synthetic brush. It is, I think they call this creamy white or the monster handle. Just a giant knot, very soft. Overall, actually pretty good backbone. It is not a floppy synthetic brush, even though it is quite soft. There's a pretty fair amount of, fiber in here. Density and sort of stiffness is pretty good. Not floppy, but also not overly scrubby or too hard. So let me go ahead and just wet the brush through. No reason to soak it. Obviously, it's synthetic. As I said, they've sent me a number of other synthetic brushes, some very cool looking handles, some different synthetic styles for the knot. I'm going to start with this one, alternate to one of the badger brushes, and then back for some of the synthetic ones. All right, so the brush is, damp but not wet, so I'm going to go ahead and start loading. Obviously, it's the last day for this round for the soap, so I'm just going to go ahead and just load pretty heavily. I've actually loaded pretty heavily every day. No issues getting the brush well loaded with soap. Now, this is, in the scheme of things, inside the dish, because I just leave it uncovered throughout the week. It has hardened quite a bit, so that means you've got to add a bit of water and just keep working the surface of it. Just get enough soap loaded. Yeah, I really like the scent on the soap. It's a really interesting, like a lightly woodsy scent with a big sweet vanilla hit in there and a touch of the jasmine, the floral. I wasn't quite sure what the floral note was until I went back and took a look at the scent profile, but it's definitely there. And the wood scent is not kind of an overpowering, overly heavy. It's a really nice mixture actually of the vanilla, the jasmine, and the woods. Just cedarwood and sandalwood. All right, I'm going to load just a little more. Again, I'm just dripping a tiny bit of water in there, as you can see. Just making sure I have plenty loaded into the brush. There we go. It's a huge knot. It's easily the biggest knot that I've got. And obviously, if you have a little tiny face, it's going to be too much brush maybe. But if you're also shaving your head or shaving your legs, big brush makes a big difference there. Easy to get a lot of lather going. All right, I've dripped a bit of water into the brush. Brush splays quite easily, but is not like just, you know, falling open. Nice bit of sort of a balance between tension and easy splay. Very soft tips. Handle is big but easy to hold. It's a resin handle, so it's not heavy. All right, that needs more water. And I think once more. Just doesn't sound exactly right yet. Just a touch more water. There we go. Yeah, you can see just how much area that brush is covering. Beautiful. Okay. Avoid some soap in the mouth, and let's go ahead and start shaving. Now, the thing about these sort of these D89 or the R89, so that, you know, this exact same head style, it's a little bit deceptive because it's going to look like the same head, but this has a very different feel than the D89 that I used last week. This is absolutely more on the aggressive side, much more distinct blade feel. So if you think about the balance between sort of comfort and efficiency, this is more on the efficient side than the comfortable side. If you like a bit of blade feel, the D89 feels a little too mild to you, this is going to be a very good choice. Yeah, the Persona Med Prep blade, not a good choice for this razor for me. A little too much sort of blade jitter, a little bit of blade chatter. Not having the same problem with this Wilkinson Sword. Nice light pressure because you can in fact feel more of the blade, so you just have to watch it. If you press down with this, I think if you're just not careful shaving, I think you can easily give yourself a bit of razor burn. So just watch the pressure. There's a touch of overhang there, as you can see, so you just have to watch it in certain spots there, but you can see there's a bit of the end tab exposed. Easily maneuverable, fits under the nose pretty well. You know, it's obviously a sort of time-tested and proven head design, and you know, the small differences here in the head geometry just mean in this case that there's a bit more blade exposure and a bit more, just a bit more blade edge for feel on the face. Soap rinses pretty easily, and my issue with the soap is nothing to do with how easily you can build a lather. It's just, for some reason, and this may not be your experience, but it has been my experience through the course of the week, is that although the soap lathers easily, I am just not getting as slick a lather as I would like. It's got a nice sheen to it, easy to lather, easy to work with, but at least for me, it's just missing that extra layer of slickness. And particularly when you're shaving with a razor like this, where there is a bit more blade feel, that extra slickness would be very welcome. It's not to say this is a bad soap at all, but for me it just does not have It just is not slick enough, really. All right, let's go for the across the grain. Very light pressure. Nice feedback on the razor too. It's got a good, nice bit of rasp to it, which I hope is coming through. And I have to tell you, by the way, that this week, much more comfortable than last week, because going that full week without shaving, man, it just lets you know how much you miss shaving for a variety of reasons. You know, one, obviously, your face feels better, less itch. You just look better to yourself if you like a clean shaven look. But we should minimize the importance of that daily ritual as well. Definitely felt like there was something missing every day. Well, and there was. Razor is really nice and efficient. You can just get a good feel. It's really taking the hair off. Mustache areas where I could really feel the difference between the Persona Blue and the Wilkinson Sword. There we go. Yeah, really like it, and I think, you know, the handle design is quite well done. Right mix of sort of knurling and design. All right, one more rinse, and let's go ahead and lather up again. I'm actually going to dip the tips back in the water again. I'm going to get just a little bit more soap loaded, a little bit wetter. This is one of those brushes, by the way, that is soft enough that on the third pass I don't feel like I would have to avoid sort of a bit more vigorous lather building. Yeah, beautiful soft tips. I think a really nice balance between the density of the knot, firmness of the bristles, and the amount of splay or bend. There we go. Yeah, as you can see, nothing wrong with the lather. Looks great, feels good on the face, has a nice sort of a, you know, creamy, soft, slick feel to it, but for whatever reason, just a tick below where it needs to be for me. Okay, the final across the grain pass, here we go. Just really, really light now. This is where you have to really resist the urge to sort of get a little crazy because you're just trying to eliminate every possible piece of stubble. You know, if need be, I guess you could do a fourth pass, like a cleanup pass. For those of you that are wondering, by the way, most of these shaves, they're not BBS because I don't press myself to try to make that. There will certainly be spots where, yes, I could go over it one more time. But I don't. Yeah, it's really in this third pass where I feel like the soap is just a little under where it needs to be. And as I said, this soap may be working great for you. So again, this is just my feedback, my opinion. Okay, let's stop right there. Rinse off. Very nice and smooth. Could, of course, do a fourth pass if you wanted to just completely eliminate any residual stubble, and you know who you are. But that's not going to be me. Okay, let me towel off, and we will apply the 3.5 product. Oh, post shave is pretty good. I don't have any like tightness in my skin or heat or anything like that. It's a little dry. Now, let's go ahead and do the aftershave. The reason I said this is sort of 3.5 new products is because this is another of the Meißner Tremonia, but today it's the Aftershave Black. And this is a really interesting mix, actually. This is made from dark beer, and it's a mix of dark beer, cedar, and bergamot. It does have a slightly beery scent to it. Now, the scent does not last for long. It's a mix of alcohol and witch hazel again. So let me just put some in here. Beautiful golden color. It has a really interesting mix of kind of the citrus and the wood, but with a slight dark beer undertone. The scent is distinct. Changes a bit as it sort of dries down. I don't know this scent is going to be for everyone. I think this is kind of a mix of scents where I think for some, the beer overtone or beer undertone is not going to be very pleasant. I think for others, this is going to be just spot on. You know, Meißner Tremonia has sort of a lineup of scents that are, in the scheme of things, relatively strong and clearly defined and not your usual sort of cologne-y scents. Definitely well worth a try. The mixture of the witch hazel, the alcohol, and the glycerin make for a very nice post-shave. Scent is not long-lasting, but nice while it lasts. Well, all right, there we go. Well, that's 2 days of growth gone. It's no 7 days, still 2 days completely eradicated. So let's call it quits right there. Let's go back and just do a very quick recap of where we are with these products for today. First, the shave soap from K Shave Worx, the Kashmir Cocoa. As I said, it's a mix, the scents of cedarwood and sandalwood, jasmine and vanilla are sort of the primary notes. A nice sort of sweet overtone to the scent mix there. Beautiful dark brown color, relatively hard soap, a hardish soft soap, and a vegan base. Like I said, for me, not really, not working as well as I would like. A little bit low on the, just on the slickness factor, just not really there for me. But you may well be loving it. Today's brush from Yaqi, which is the first. I got 7 from them. There's a bit of an overlap, some duplicates, but a really nice mix of synthetic and badgers, which will be quite fun to go through. Today's is the 30 millimeter synthetic brush in this large, creamy white color, all black bristles, beautiful soft face feel, a nice balance between density of the brush, firmness of the bristles, and the amount of splay and softness on the face. Very, very nice. And if you are a head shaver, you need to cover more area, or a leg shaver, brushes that size are going to work out very, very well for you. An excellent, excellent choice. I've not done a lot of shopping. I've not seen these before. I don't use Alibaba for shopping. Easily accessible through there, and overall prices and shipping seem very reasonable for the products. This is the razor that they sent for review, which is a D89 clone-ish. Very similar in head design, but certainly more aggressive with more blade feel. Just a very nice, efficient razor. Lower in comfort than the D89, but more efficient. Very easy to use, just have to watch the pressure. All brass handle, and I really like this handle design. Very easy to hold. I like the balance. The size and length is just spot on for me. Just a great, very, very nice addition to the razor collection. And then finally, last but not least, every good shave should end with a bit of beer. This is the Meißner Tremonia Black aftershave, dark beer, and cedarwood plus bergamot. Very, very nice. I like these mixes of the alcohol and witch hazel. Those seem to work very, very well for my skin. Well, all right, guys, that pretty much does it for today. Another beautiful weekend shave once again. Well, let me just say thank you again so much for watching these videos. I really appreciate the time you're taking. Of course, as always, please feel free to leave questions or comments against this video or any previous video. And until next time, goodbye.